kick it off. Do some fun stuff here.
Yes.
Need to know today's episode 1668. Okay. Is that right?
16.6 Kate? Is that what you said?
16.6 Kate. It was a fantastic sitcom in the 80s. I loved it.
+8. 16.6 Kate +8.
+8. And Kate, and Allie at the end of it. All right. Does anyone else remember Kate and Allie? Is that just the thing?
I remember Kate and Allie.
Okay.
Jane Curtin and...
Who was the other one?
Who was the other one?
I don't know. Hold on. Kate and Allie.
Susan St. James.
Oh, okay. Do I know
the
her?
patron saint of lost sitcoms.
First aired in 1984. Final episode 1989. Nice, longer than average run.
Good. Yeah.
It's not too bad. I don't know that I ever really watched it.
I don't think I ever did. It was after something that I did watch, and I never stuck around. You know, at the time, 84 to 89, that's not something that would appeal to me, right? Like,
no, it wasn't for us.
16, 17-year-old boy watching Kate and Allie. Hold on, everybody, I gotta go home to watch Kate and Allie.
Hey, fellas, check it out. She was young then. Weird. All right, whatever.
This is the first place you go. How old was she?
Well,
How old was she? How old is she now? How close to death is she? Is she close to death?
She looked like 20-something in this, but...
Is she closer to death than me? Which one's closer to death? Her or me?
Hey, it's not that bad. The other night I was watching... I can't tell you because it's for tomorrow's recommendal.
Okay.
But I watched a thing where everyone's dead. And it was weird.
Oh, God.
It was really weird. And they haven't been dead that long. Like, a lot of them died in the last
39 steps.
Everybody. Cameraman, everybody. They're all dead.
The Thin Man.
All right. Let's record a show. Oh, we're already doing video. All right. So we got audio. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's bring that up. No, that's a little too much. Oh, I hate this thing. It's
too much video.
So jacked up. Okay, test. All right, there we go. All right, the beginning of the begins happens in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, when you know the V8 has gone off.
Those cats are huge.
Where'd you get that cell phone, bud?
These pants don't fit, but the beer does.
I'm gonna die. But first, let me take a selfie.
Take a selfie. Making things with Bill.
Jury duty and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
This box contains not 1, not 2, but 9 added teaspoons. This has 14. And this, 18. And shredded wheat, toasted wheat, and raisins, none.
You gotta find that boogie body.
This is the Morning Stream. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi. Good morning.
Well, hi. I do like how that guitar intro, like, you know, it's all, like, ramped up. 5-hour energy drink, 5-hour energy drink. And then it, like, smooth, like, eases in, like, okay, now I'm riding the wave.
And it times it just right. Like, he didn't do that on purpose. He didn't know it was going to work out that way, but it's timed so perfectly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It is.
It's really good. Well done, Bo Schwartz.
Well done. Bo's a talent, my friend.
He is. He's a talented son of a bee. Hey, hi, everybody. Let's do Tuesday, everyone. Let's do it. It's a good time to be here. We're happy to be here, except I'm slightly less happy to be here. Let me explain a little something that's going on here in my life. So you had the conjunctivitis a couple years ago. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pink eye.
Yeah, that was fun.
What they used to call me.
That was fun.
That was
my
nickname back then. Pink Eye Bry.
Pink Eye Bry. Pink Bry for short.
Pink Eye Bry.
So you had that, and it was lame, and we all dealt with it together and lived with it here on the show.
Like that.
I have never, since I was a kid, I think I'd never had it. I had it a couple times when I was a kid, but I didn't think I'd really ever have it again. And then a couple days ago, like Sunday afternoon, evening, my eye just starts to kind of ache, kind of hurt a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a little swelling. I thought I probably bumped it or smacked it in the night or who knows what I did. Yesterday got worse. and started swelling up and getting all red, like up toward the upper top of the eye, my left eye, and a little blurred vision. Not bad, but just a little, like there's a little swelling going on.
Okay.
And I went, damn it. It's freaking pink eye. I probably held the baby after a poopy or something. I'm thinking all these things. And talked to the doctor. Nope. It's viral conjunctivitis, which he says is like having a cold in your eyeball, which he says explains why it's not. I'm not producing any kind of goop or any kind of, sticky morning grossness or any of that. He says that's definitely a virus. If it was bacterial, that would tell you if it was bacterial, if it was all goopy and gross. And two, if it was bacterial, they give you some stuff, some drops that are like antibiotic eye drops, and then in a day or two, you're good. But I said, but not for me. He says, no, you got like a cold in your eye, and just like a regular cold, you have to let it ride out.
Do you starve an eye with a cold, or is that just when your eye has a fever? Which is it?
You starve an eye, you look at a fever, right?
That's right, something like that. Yeah.
Stare at your eye, look at a fever. I don't know which way it is, but
Johnny Fever.
I said, how do you get something like this? He says, like you'd get any cold. You just, you may have, it could be transfer of like hand, like if I touched a doorknob and then rubbed my eye, or it could be someone coughed near me and I got their little virus in my eye. I said, what are the chances of it spreading to the other eye? He says, very low, because you would have already done that. Because when it's viral, you either get one eye or both at the same time, sort of thing, is more common. Okay. So it's not.
You'd already have it if that was the case.
And it's only as contagious as like a cold. So.
All right.
It's not like your goopy, poopy eye that you had. That was gnarly.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. Well, the fun part is some of the same symptoms, like this full, painful eye feeling, and then precisely jack shit I can do about it. So, yay for me. Yay.
At least with the pink eye, get some drops, you put them in there, you're feeling good after a day.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Maybe a couple days, but boy.
I mean, I was just talking to Kim about how this whole winter season I have somehow avoided all colds and flus. Well, everyone else has them. I haven't gotten any. Actually, you've done pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I feel like you and I have been, I don't know, blessed during the last couple of months.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed, and then make a heart. Wait.
Hey, want to know how you can quickly get me to unfollow you? The fastest way to get an unfollow from Brian.
Just say hashtag blessed.
Blessed.
I hate that too. I hate it. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Anyway, I'll never do that. Now it's only going to be ironic. In fact, everybody in the chat and everybody listening live or later, send Brian a little tweet today. Just give him a little love.
Because I know you're doing it ironically, and then you won't get unfollowed. But if I read it and it feels like, oh yeah, that's intentional. Hashtag blessed. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
I can't be friends with you anymore.
Nope, that'll be it. He'll turn his back to you in Vegas if you come see us. That's how it's going to be.
That's right. You get no hug.
Exactly.
You get no vaccine. No Lieutenant Yar.
He did tell me not.
No hug.
He did tell me not to touch it, so I'm going to try really hard today not to touch it.
That's the toughest thing is, hey, don't touch your eye.
I know. It itches so bad. I find myself itching my eyebrow above it because it somehow distracts it from the thing. But you can't really tell on the stream. Or maybe you can. You see how swollen the left eye is, sort of ish.
A little bit. Yeah.
It's not that bad. He says you don't have a very severe case. He says it's just like a little thing. It's going to irritate you, but it's not you're not going to go blind or anything dumb. So that's good. Hey, how do you know, Brian? How do you know? Well, this is an obvious answer, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway.
Sure.
How do you know if a can of V8 is expired?
And this is a sealed can, right?
Yes, an unopened can of V8 tomato juice extract, whatever drink it is, whatever.
Because I mean, if it's the plastic bottle and you've opened it and you've drank some and closed it back up, and V8 gets mold, and it floats on the top. It's a really gross, grody, fuzzy mold.
It's foul.
But in a can, I would really, I guess the first thing I do is look at the expiration date. Because it's going to be acidic. It's going to taste questionable.
Okay. Well, we're right here on the same path so far.
Yeah. Boy.
All right. Well, here, I'll show you. I'll give you a visual. Here's the can.
Okay. All right.
We have these little cans. Kim has a ton of them in storage.
I like those.
And I love them. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'll just grab one once in a while and drink it. Now, I have
Great
to admit.
with vodka.
Is it? Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. That's a Bloody Mary in your hand right there. Just throw a little vodka in there and little Tabasco, and that is your Bloody Mary.
I used to when I was younger, when I was a teenager, because this was the thing I'd do after school. I guess it was junior high. I would come home and I would fill a cup or glass full of V8, and then I would just dip saltine crackers in it all afternoon.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. Is that weird?
Yeah,
That's not weird,
yeah,
right?
no, I totally, that totally makes sense. By the way, when I was in Vegas, Tina and I decided we were going to go down to Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
To go spend some money down there, so that I could start getting some room offers for Mandalay Bay for the summer, because we're planning on going down there for my 50th,
Right.
and we want a free room, for Pete's sake.
Of course.
So you go down there and you drop $100 into a slot machine, you play, and you pull out whatever's left after a few minutes, but they get that money in, basically, as long as you're spending. It's a coin in count, and waitress comes over, server comes over, I don't know what to call him anymore, says, hey, can I bring you a drink? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love a Bloody Mary. She's like, all right. Would you like that extra bloody? I'm like, what?
Really?
What does that mean? I've never heard that phrase. She's like, extra, would you like it spicy? Like, oh, okay. That's what extra bloody means? Can I just say spicy? Make it spicy? Because I'd like that better than extra bloody.
Yeah, and also I know what she's saying, because that spicy, I buy margarita mix, not margarita mix. Is it margarita mix? No, whatever it is. I don't know what they call it, but it's like V8 but spicy, but they use it. You're supposed to use it to mix alcoholic drinks with it.
Like Mrs. T's Bloody Mary.
Yes. I guess it's like that. I buy that sometimes just to sip on it, and I like the spicy stuff. It's really good.
Sure.
So what she's saying to you is, do you want it spicy, or no, do you want it more bloody? And that's a secrety Bloody Mary talk for, okay. All right. I get
exactly, yeah. I don't know. I mean, what if I want more vodka and not as spicy? Do I say more Mary?
Yeah,
a little
more
extra Mary.
A little more Mary. Well, this is the
Make
problem.
it a little more Mary.
You're all coming too close to saying Bloody Mary 3 times, which means
oh yeah,
means
I've
Candyman will
probably
show
said
up
it about 1,000 times.
Yeah, Candyman, or what's that guy that played Candyman? I can't think of his name. Anyway, all right, I found the date, by the way. So on the bottom of this thing, shit. All right, so you'd think the first thing I do or should do is just
look at the date.
Look at the date. It's okay to look.
Yeah. And you do that before you open the can too, especially if it's at the bottom.
Yeah, and I looked down there, just briefly glanced at it, and I saw the number 9/33/21.
Okay. Oh no, it expired in September 33rd, 2021.
Well, and so that's kind of where my brain went, and it didn't click that 33 is not, we don't have months that are 33 days.
Yeah.
This isn't Jupiter, for heaven's sakes, or wherever would have something like that.
Right.
So I drank it, and it all felt just a little off to me. Now, not like gross or fermented or stale or moldy or any of that. Just felt
a little extra tangy, maybe?
Yeah, a little tinny too, a little can tasty,
Okay.
That sort of thing. And so later, I checked this can again, and I just verified it. That's a number that's supposed to be a timestamp.
Okay, yeah.
9/33/21 is not a date. Instead, above that, the expiration is June 7th, 2014.
Oh, wow. Almost 5-year-old V8. That's like V13 is what that is.
Yeah, this V8, let's put it this way. This V8 was supposed to be drunk and gone before Mad Max Fury Road came out in movie theaters. Think of that.
Me too. I'm supposed to be drunk and gone before Mad Max.
So I'm going to put that in the can, and I'm going to throw that whole, we got like a whole 12-pack of this. I feel bad wasting it, but no one drank it. So
yeah, exactly.
That's the deal, right? I shouldn't give it to like homeless shelters or anything like that.
No, definitely not. Yeah, homeless shelters don't want your expired food either. If you don't want to drink it, they don't want to drink it either.
Okay. Is that generally, that's a good rule, generally, right?
That's a good rule of thumb, yeah. Don't give anything to Goodwill or a homeless shelter that you yourself wouldn't want if you were having to go to a homeless shelter or...
That's a good rule of thumb, which is a phrase I hate, so I'll never use it again.
Rule of thumb?
Yeah, I don't like it. What does it even mean? What does it even mean?
Is that like a length thing, right? Like... well, your knuckle to your tip of your thumb is supposed to be an inch, and that's your rule of thumb kind of thing. Isn't that the...
See, it says right here, the English phrase rule of thumb refers to a principle with broad application that is intended or is not intended to be strictly accurate or reliable for every situation. It refers to an easily learned and easily applied procedure or standard based on a practical experience rather than theory. See the modern etymology. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. This isn't confirmed, but this is what people think the origin is. It holds that the phrase derives from the maximum width of a stick allowed for wife beating under English law.
Okay, yeah, this
like all our other dumb phrases we have in the modern era, like jip. Oh, that's such a jip. Turns out that's offensive. Turns out rule of thumb is about how wide the stick you can use to beat your wife with in English law. Like all of these are screwed up. Every idiom we have is jacked.
No kidding. Oh, man.
The other day,
should we just wipe the slate of our idioms? And oh god, and what does wipe the slate mean? Wipe it with your wife's face?
So
or
you
something?
just did it. You just did another one, and we don't know. We don't know if wipe the slate has some weird thing.
Yeah, exactly. What are you wiping the slate with? Oh,
dude, idioms are jacked up. It's like the other night with Corinne and Jason. We were at dinner and we were talking about, man, it's hard to say any kind of idioms anymore in public without getting in trouble, because sometimes this stuff means stuff you don't know and you just have heard it all your life. I said, yeah, that's really a pain. And then on our way out of that taco place, Jason, there's this beautiful Indian family from India, not Native American, just to clear that up.
Eastern Indian, yep.
Yeah, and they're just the cutest little kids you have ever freaking seen. I wanted to adopt them all, even though their parents were there. I just want to adopt them all and keep them for myself. They were so cute. And they're just laughing and giggling and dancing, and they're swirling around out in the parking lot in their little dresses. And I go, oh, that's so freaking cute. And he goes, Jason goes, they're like whirling dervishes. And then my wife and Corinne at the same time go, don't say that out loud. Don't say whirling dervishes. And then we were all worried that a whirling dervish was some kind of negative comment toward Indian dancers.
I think that one's okay. I want to say whirling dervish is just...
It's a Turkish dance, I guess.
Right.
We looked it up later in the car. So it's a Turkish... You know, the Turks that do the spinning dance thing with the dresses flowing and creating...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we educated ourselves. We figured it out. Went, oh, it's that Turkish thing. But the point remained, it's like anything you say these days, you just feel like, oh, shoot, is that a thing I'm not supposed to say?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Over second, third, and fourth guessing ourselves.
Many
guessings.
Stuff like that. Many guessings.
Many guessings. I have the best guessings.
All right. Kim's gone for 2 days, so that'll be good.
Yeah, that's great.
If she was here, she'd know what to do with expired tomato juice, but...
She would.
Yeah, without her.
She would have looked on there and said, no, Scott, that it expired at 9:33 p.m. Or probably a.m. because they probably put 21:33 otherwise.
Good point.
But 9:33 a.m. on
and Nick has these 2 days off of work, so he's going to be driving me crazy. Although I can have him go get lunch for me or something like that, right?
Put the boy to work.
Yeah, gonna make him do something. Yeah, quit playing. Put down. Oh, go ahead. Is Tina back?
I was telling Tina that. She got back Friday.
Oh, that's right.
She was only gone for 4 days, and the house didn't burn down.
Mm.
I actually only gained 4/10 of a pound last week, which is crazy for a week where Tina's gone most of the week, because she's usually my safeguard, like my rock, like. And it's not even the point that she says, yeah, you shouldn't be eating that. It's the point that I'm saying to myself, oh, Tina's watching. I shouldn't be eating that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have an Oreo dipped in ice cream for a snack. But no, I was telling her that I'm thinking about an unwich for lunch. I haven't had an unwich in a while.
Wait, what's an unwich?
An unwich is what's the So Fast You'll Freak.
Richard Simmons.
No, the sandwich place. Why all of a sudden am I not Papa John's?
Pizza Hut.
Jimmy John's.
Thank
you, Jimmy John's. Holy cow! All of a sudden, forgetting the name of that damn sandwich place. It's a so you get a sub, but instead of bread, it's wrapped in lettuce.
Uh-huh.
And if you get the turkey sandwich and you get no mayo on it, it is 0 points. This is a free meal in the world of Weight Watchers.
Wow.
The W of WW.
That's a totally free one, no points.
Totally free. Like you go turkey unwich, no mayo.
Yeah, that sounds all right. My wife gets that when we go there. I don't think she knows that it's a 0 point meal.
Yeah, Well,
She just doesn't like bread.
There's no point. Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, I love Jimmy John's bread.
I love all bread. I want bread all the time. I want bread now. Like right now, talking to you, I look at your white head and go, I want some white bread now.
That's what looking at my head does to you. It's like, wow, looking at Brian, I want a sub sandwich.
Exactly. She'll do. So she's the one. If you go to In-N-Out, she'll get the. Not animal style. What's it called?
Oh, yeah. The protein.
Protein style, I think. Yeah.
Protein style or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a few places in town that make that for her, just for her, because there's nothing on.
Nice.
They don't even have a secret menu. She just does it. So she's always that way, but not me, dude. I gotta have my bread.
I love bread, but yeah, it's not.
Give me my
it's
bread.
not. It can't do it. The Red Robin will do, if you ask if your burger topless, they just won't bring a top bun on there. You'll still get the bottom bun. Mm-hmm. You just eat it with a knife and fork.
Do you remember that time I told you about how bad my service was at Red Robin? The same thing happened with the delivery. I meant to bring this up. So I had that meeting about a wedding there one night, and they were like 2 hours before we got our order or something crazy. After we were seated. Bunch of people had quit or something in mass.
Oh, yes. Right. Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's kind of sucked, but I was like, it's still Red Robin. I love that burger.
That was the day that Kim tried to pawn Nick off to start working at Red Robin.
Yes, that was it. Nice job.
Yes.
Nice memory there. I forgot all about that. So that was a thing, and then whatever we forgot about, we haven't been since. But then the other night, or I guess a couple weeks ago, Kim was like, we have a DoorDash bonus, $12 or something. We should use it. I said, well, what's doing free right now? She goes, free delivery from Red Robin. I said, well, let's try them again. Took him like 2.5 hours longer than they were supposed to. We had this like constant text conversation with the driver.
Jeez. Oh, no.
She's like, I'm just sitting here waiting. Sorry, guys. I'm hurrying as fast. It's not, obviously it's not her fault.
Yeah,
and,
but she was waiting at the restaurant for the food for that long?
Yeah, it was bad. And not just for us, for a bunch of people that did Red Robin, I guess because it was a free delivery night for Red Robin. So there was a bunch of people doing it, and they just don't seem prepared. They don't know what they're doing over there. Freaking Red Robin should stand for we don't know what we're doing.
That's what it should stand for.
Yeah. Just change your restaurant name. We don't know what we're doing. Try our freaking Hawaiian burger. Yeah. Anyway, finally got there, and it was fine. Quick update on the stuff going on in Vegas. We're still waiting for final confirmation on the Saturday night shenanigans, but there is one important note here. If you want to make sure to get your room locked in for the block rate that we got at the Plaza, and if the Saturday thing works out, you're going to really be glad you got the Plaza. Let's just say that.
Yeah, for sure.
We can say that, right? That's not a spoiler or anything.
We can definitely say that. I mean, it should be no surprise. Our goal is to try and get the big Saturday night event happening at the Plaza. We're actually talking to them about getting space at the Plaza to do our big Saturday night get-together, big shindig, our live TMS and all that stuff. So
that's where Brian will do his White Tiger show. Very excited about it. It's going to be great.
White Tiger.
Yeah.
Tight like a tiger.
So that'll be good. Don't get your face bitten off.
Right.
But anyway, that's happening. You got to get these rooms before March 26th to lock in the deal. So if you haven't done that yet, get on that. I know a bunch of people have bought tickets that have not done that part yet. Get on that. There are some people who bought rooms but haven't got your ticket yet. Go do that.
Tickets yet.
So just get yourselves all squared away over at vivatmsvegas.com. And there's info about the hotel rate and who you got to call and what you got to do there.
Yep. And the over pants, we have our 8 teams kind of locked in. I need to start organizing the teams and figuring out the Yule method. Yule method. Is that what it is for seeding teams?
You got me.
Like basically getting the teams all evened up and stuff.
Sure.
So I'll be doing that and letting people know their teams. So right now, if you do want to sign up, it's waitlist or I guess waitlist is the right word, or alternates, subs, that sort of thing.
Oh,
so
right. Yeah, because we're going to want a few of those. People are just willing to
for
pop
sure.
in if someone can't come or
right.
whatever.
Somebody might drop out and be like, I can't make it, or I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the Overwatch tonight. Need a sub.
Someone drinks a can of expired V8 juice and is stuck in their hotel room.
It's
Sure.
Vegas. Anything like that can happen. I actually changed my flight. I was coming in Thursday and I was going to arrive about an hour before Overpants.
Yeah.
Decided maybe that's cutting things a little too close. So changed my flight. I'm coming in a day early. I'm coming in Wednesday now.
Gosh, it's almost like Brian loves Vegas and doesn't mind tacking on additional days to his Vegas trip.
Well, I don't know. I'd be more excited about it if I didn't just go a week ago.
Right.
Like right now I'm in that mode of like, yeah, I don't need to go to Vegas for a while.
You're still recouping, sure.
I'm still recouping.
But the focus of this event is going to be so much different than your average trip there.
Different than this last weekend, yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's all about you guys. So get out there, get your arse there, and be a part of that Overwatch tournament. If you haven't already decided to be a part of it, since we've locked in those teams, you can still be an alternate, like Brian said. So check it out, vivatmsvegas.com. And for those who are like, Overpants, what the hell is that? That's exactly what it is. It's a mini, very casual, good time Overwatch tournament we're holding at the Luxor Esports, HyperX Esports Arena. And it's going to be rad. So show up. And we're going to stream it, by the way, which is very exciting.
It is going to be streamed. And we're
it'll look professional.
Still figuring out the details about streaming anything else, but that we know is going to be streamed.
That will be streamed at frogpants.tv, where you're watching us live right now. Okay. I think that's it for your Tuesday preparations. Let's dive into the deal that we call the news.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, it's the news brought to you by...
In the summer of 1981, a rather plain gaming cabinet crept into the arcades of Portland, Oregon, almost undetected. The cabinet is described as having no logos or artwork other than the teal words on the lighted marquee that read, Polybius. It was your basic arcade game, that is, until you reached level 10. Once you reached the 10th level, various subliminal messages buried deep within the game's coding began to reveal themselves to the game's player. Reports of people having migraines, loss of time, nosebleeds, night terrors, and even suicidal thoughts made their way through the whispers of the arcades. There was only one common link between these reports. They have all played Polybius. Polybius. I think Polybius.
Polybius. Yeah.
Polybius. Just before news broke of the game, every Polybius cabinet disappeared. Seemingly, overnight, they vanished. No explanation. It was as if they never existed. Diabolus Ex Machina is a horror short film which intends to show what would happen if one of those machines showed up now. Go to Indiegogo and search for Diabolus Ex Machina and help us get this story told. That's Diabolus Ex Machina at Indiegogo.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode, doesn't it?
It does, totally does.
Yeah, I like this idea.
Starring Billy Bob Thornton.
There you go. Sure. Why not? That's fine.
Why not? That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. Nobody cares.
I don't care.
First story.
It's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
We know that's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, we just like to mix up our character actors.
By the way,
drinking.
My drink of choice today.
Yeah, what do you got there?
Is the Gift of the Valenwood Gayusa.
Oh.
I want to show the color there.
Very nice.
It's the green tea.
Yeah. It's a nice clear
Wayusa,
tea.
I said Gayusa. The Wayusa that's got as much caffeine as a cup of coffee.
Nice.
Delicious.
It looks rich and powerful.
It's rich and powerful.
Yes.
Smooth and convincing.
Yeah, it looks smooth and convincing. All right, a story that got bumped. A story from yesterday that got bumped forward. We're going to read it today. This will be of interest to you since you have a cat. I have a cat. We all have cats. Cats have actually grown larger over time, unlike dogs and other domesticated species. That doesn't mean your cat is bigger than it used to be. It means that cats in general have gotten bigger. And I would just say, from whatever limited perspective I have on, cat evolution, I feel like every cat I've had since I was a kid has gotten bigger. It seems like every single cat, we'd never end up with a small cat. It always is a little bigger than the last one, a little bigger than the last one. Doesn't matter what brand or breed or whatever we get. And there's no brand of cats. It's only breeds. The Johnson & Johnson brand of cats.
What brand of cat do you have? Oh, I've got one of the new brands.
Nabisco cat. He's fantastic.
Not on the market yet.
No. So apparently they've been getting bigger. During the Viking Age, domestic cats are popular among popular companions, prized for their pest control abilities. So you'd take it on the ship with you or whatever. And in the dark turn of events, they're pelts. So they would, if things went bad, you'd kill the cat and then skin it.
Jeez, wouldn't get much fur from a.
Yeah.
Look at Joe the Viking over there, man, with his little tiny pelts.
Joe the Viking.
Joe the cat Viking.
I wonder if they're okay. You know the old phrase. Here's another idiom that might be something I don't know, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, I wonder if it came from that time, because I didn't know people are skinning cats. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Is there really more than one way to skin a cat?
I don't know.
Feels like it's something you can only do one way.
Well, let's think about it. I mean, it's kind of awful, but let's think. If you could do it with a knife. You could do
okay. I mean, more than one tool you can use to skin a cat. This feels like horrible.
No, you're right, though.
Horrible discussion for our cat lovers.
But you're talking about
there.
just the removal of skin from a cat.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean,
then it's just a matter of what tool. You're still skinning the cat.
Yeah. Oh, people are saying from the front or from the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then you could say, well, there's more than one way to drink this water bottle. Poke a hole in the bottom.
Right, exactly, yes.
Yeah, that phrase is dumb then, because that's true of every single object on the planet.
Yeah.
Front from back to front.
And how come PETA hasn't freaked out about that one, right?
Yeah.
Like, remember when there's they were trying to change the phrases like feed a fed horse instead of beating a dead horse?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe they have. Let's see if PETA and skin a cat. Oh yeah, there's searches for this.
Okay.
Animal friendly. There's only one way. There says there's more than one way to pet a cat.
Oh, of course, yes. There's more than one way to pet a cat.
Yeah, because they had beating a dead horse. They had feed two birds with one scone.
I
Yeah,
think it was one of them.
well, that's only good until they find out the scones bloat the birds and they all die from bloat.
Right, exactly, yes.
Yeah. Well, use it while you can, everybody. Anyway,
Right,
your cat has gotten bigger, and that's what's crazy. According to the Danish Journal of Archaeology and a study of domesticated felines' growth over time, most animals tend to shrink as they become domesticated. The average dog, for example, is around 25% smaller than its wild relative, a gray wolf. Julie Bitz Thorsen of the Arctic University of Norway and Anne Brigitte Gottfriedsen of the University of Copenhagen. They all sound like Vikings. It's pretty cool.
And Brigitte Gottfriedsen. Sounds like it feels like a Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, totally.
Gottfriedsen.
That means that guy's name is Godfred.
I mean, she's got Fred's son.
Oh, that works because Fred is a dude in that thing.
Fred, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He's Fred's son.
Guy's a real jerk.
That Fred.
I like that show a lot. Are they coming back? I guess they are.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I like it a
Gold
lot.
mine.
It's really good. Anyway, says the reason for this increase remains unclear. Let's see. I'm going to skip ahead here to this part where it says to assess the differences between ancient cats and those of today. Blitz Thorsen, then an undergraduate of the University of Copenhagen, where you can smoke pot all day. I don't know if that's true. It's Copenhagen, right?
Amsterdam is where you're supposed to be able to smoke it. Netherlands and
where's the free hookers or whatever it is? Not free hookers.
That's the red light district of
Amsterdam. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And that's literally red lights all down that district, right?
Copenhagen is Denmark.
Oh, okay. But I always hear that when you go down that red light district, it's really red lights. Like everything's back to the red light.
Yeah. Like all the rooms, basically. I mean, that's how you know. It's like a taxi having the light turned on the top of their car. It's you're available. Great.
Yeah, that would freak me out. I think just seeing it would freak me out. Why is my watch buzzing for no reason? There's no notification. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, because I didn't have my code in.
Yeah, put in your code. Yeah, unlock your watch, Scott.
That's good stuff. All right. Anyway, your cat's getting fat. Is the point.
Cats are getting larger. Leo's getting larger.
Mm-hmm. Very little you can do about it.
That's right.
Martin Shkreli in the news. Oh, you love that guy, don't you? He's like your favorite.
He is my basically, if I were a superhero, he would be the first supervillain I'd go after.
Yeah, it seems like he'd be pretty good.
I'll get your Shkreli.
I mean, the thing with him is he's kind of terrible at being a bad guy. He keeps screwing up and gets thrown in prison.
Guy, but you look at the guy and you just want to punch him.
Oh, I know,
in that smug little, beady-eyed little face.
He's a turd. He's a man turd, is what he is.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this man turd is in trouble again, and you'd say, "Wait, how is he in trouble? He's in prison." Well, let me tell you. He's suspected of using a cell phone to run his company from inside the prison. Nice job. Which is still losing millions, by the way, which is the funny part.
Where does he keep that phone? I'd like to know.
Contraband up his bum.
Yeah, nice.
Federal authorities said Friday they are investigating claims that Martin Shkreli has been running his pharmaceutical company from behind bars using a contraband smartphone. The U.S. Bureau of Prisons told the Associated Press it has opened an inquiry as to whether the man nicknamed the Pharma Bro violated.
Pharma Bro.
You know what this article does say, though? That's what we're nicknaming him, but in prison, he's hanging out with guys like people named Big Nick and Dirty Harry and all that. His name is Asshole in prison. Not kidding.
Right.
That's straight up the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In his little group that he runs with, they just call him A-hole.
Hell, that's what he's called outside of prison as well, so perfect.
Now, that's for one of two reasons, and I won't get into them.
Mm-hmm. It could be both of two reasons.
It could be. Why can't it be both? It could be both.
It could be both.
He is serving a...
Pharma Bro.
He's serving a 7-year sentence currently for securities fraud at the Federal Correction Institution at Fort Dix, New Jersey. This is a low-security prison complex about 40 miles or 65 kilometers from Philadelphia. I don't know why they had to throw the metric in there, but whatever.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, HuffPo.
That's fine, I guess. I'm just really pushing for metric. He was found guilty of lying to investors in two failed hedge funds that cheated them out of millions. Wall Street Journal reported this week that he'd been using a cell phone to call the shots at his drug company, Phoenixus AG. Is that the name of that company? Phoenixus?
I'm wearing where I'm looking for.
Fourth paragraph. Fourth paragraph.
Oh, Phoenix.
Phoenixus?
Phoenixus?
It's a terrible
Phoenixus.
name. It's a dumb name.
I can't imagine pronouncing, even if you're putting a syllable after it, I can't imagine not pronouncing Phoenix as Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Phoenixus.
Yeah. He probably thinks it makes him seem cooler than he is.
Yeah.
He's been posting regularly to social media and even firing the chief executive officer a couple of weeks ago, again from his freaking prison sneaky phone. His attorney declined to comment. Like all correctional agencies, the BOP continues to tackle the problem of contraband being introduced into our facilities, including contraband cell phones. It seems like this would be easy to do. Just go find the cell phone, get it, and destroy it. What's the problem? Go get it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not an investigation. The investigation is, Mr. Shkreli, get out of bed. We think you have a cell phone. We're going to toss the room and then and we're going to check your butthole.
Look at you. Toss the room.
Yeah.
Somebody watched season 3 of Orange is the New Black.
I just remember that was a thing on, I guess
Shawshank.
Shawshank, he was always getting tossed.
Shawshank, yeah.
Yeah, they'd go in there and throw everything around except for that poster.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that poster, you guys.
Oz.
Dumbasses. Yeah. Anyway, he's probably in trouble again. I don't know if it'll extend his sentence, but he sucks in every possible way. I hate that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Douche.
Pharma douche. Yeah, forget about Farmer Bro. He's not really much of a. He's not even much of a bro. Like you could see him hanging around another group of stereotypic bros, and they could kick the crap out of him.
Totally. Oh yeah, he's the bro that the other bros talk about when he's not there.
Yeah.
When he's not there at the microbrewery, enjoying the latest raspberry sour ale.
Hey, you guys, you want to go out and get some hookers? He's that kind of guy. Just an annoying.
I'll buy.
Yeah, I'll buy. I'll pay for it. He's like a chirpy little bird in the background. You're like, guys, oh my gosh, can we leave him somewhere?
Kim disappears for a couple days, and you've already brought up hookers twice on the show.
I think it means something. I think I might be soliciting some.
Doth protest. Scott doth protest too much about hookers.
I'm going to solicit my first sex worker.
It's going to be like the Deuce, Scott. That's what it's going to be like.
This is gateway to the Deuce lifestyle.
Gateway to the Deuce lifestyle.
Ooh, I watched that series. I don't know if I want that.
I know I'm about to start because I just finished Punisher season 3, which I will talk about on Recommendals tomorrow, even though it is not my prime. It's not Recommendal Prime.
3, isn't that 2? I didn't think they had
2. I'm sorry, 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Punisher season 2.
Got me all excited. I'm like, wait a minute, because I haven't watched any of it.
Last season of Punisher on Netflix.
So I still haven't watched it, but everybody tells me it's the best of those Marvel things. So
it is really good. Yeah.
I need to watch it.
Is it the best? I mean, Daredevil was really good, I thought.
Second
Daredevil
season 2 of Daredevil really bummed me out. I didn't think it was very good.
Yeah, season 3 was a lot better of Daredevil.
I should probably watch it.
You know, a lot of those are basically episode 2. The character we all love gets the total tar beaten out of them to the point where they can barely walk. But by season 3, they're able to fight like
Yeah.
like one of the best pugilists ever.
He's got still has that dumb buddy with him, his stupid friend.
You don't like Foggy Nelson?
He's
What's
fine.
the matter with Foggy Nelson?
I don't know. I'm not really one for like.
Foggy Nelson is Toby Jones light, by the way.
Yeah, he is like Toby Jones, isn't he?
Yeah.
I like Toby Jones.
Yeah, I like Foggy Nelson. I think that I like that actor. I like that interplay between the two of them.
How about the vampire lady? Is the vampire lady still there?
Vampire lady's still there. She even makes an appearance in Punisher season 2.
Ooh.
Well, she was in Punisher season 1. It's kind of like
I haven't watched that yet.
She was the crossover. You haven't watched either of the Punisher seasons?
No, I keep hearing how great it is, and I just kept. It's got that Netflix problem where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch that, and then I just.
It'll always be there, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just have to get around to it. Kind of have that problem right now.
It's it's Shane and his earlobes, man.
Mm-hmm. Separate trailers. That's the only way it'll work with you.
That's right.
That guy's got some lobes to spare.
Big lobes.
I kind of hope these people. Well, I mean, I don't know what Disney's plans are, but it'd be cool if they got to continue their stuff. You know?
I hope so. Yeah. You know, at the very least, kick it off with another Defenders season, and if that does well, then start bringing the solo shows back.
Yeah, Defenders. Yes, focus your. It's like Avengers. Do your focus on that, and then have your little splinter things. But the thing is, if they're gonna, the big question looming over all of this is those shows are fairly mature, and violent and sweary. You know, it's a Netflix joint
right. And
for
will
sure.
Disney have an issue with that?
Yeah. Will Disney do like RoboCop, or the sequel to RoboCop, a very violent R-rated affair? The sequel to RoboCop was PG. Like,
right.
You can't. I don't know if you can do that.
I think you can do it, and I think you just do it kind of like, you know how Hulu has the parental controls and stuff like that. You just do the same thing with Disney Plus, where you say, don't even show the stuff that's R-rated when I'm logged in, you know, as Billy Jr. You know, but if I'm logged in as William, then show me the hard stuff. But
I hope you're right. I just don't think Disney's going to do it, because everything they've talked about so far leads me to think they're going to go straight Disney up and down. Like the most violent they'll get is Star Wars stuff. Or
you've heard about so Apple has a new like, we think pretty much that in 2 weeks, or when is it? It's like the 25th of March. 25th, I think. That they're going to be announcing their streaming service.
Yeah, they're it's pretty obvious at this point, because their invitation said it's Showtime. Okay, kind of gives it away. But then they have another one that's like the old movie countdown numbers with the
really? Yeah, the circular. Yep.
And it goes down to 1, 2, 3, 2, and then the 1 is an Apple logo. So
for sure.
They're totally going to do it.
They're totally doing. Yeah, I mean, they've got and they've already got shows lined up. I was talking on or mentioned on Twitter today, Taika Waititi is signed on to do a Time Bandits series.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
That's
Come
awesome.
on.
That's so great.
If there's anybody besides Terry Gilliam that can do this and pull it off.
Well, and it's with him. He's in conjunction with him. He's going to help.
He's going to be involved.
Yeah, which is huge, right? That's huge.
Awesome. Yeah,
so all they got to do, the kid who was in that movie is still alive. Everybody else is dead except for John Cleese for his brief moment.
Oh.
He was Robin Hood.
Like all the
little people are dead. They're all dead. Either from natural causes or a bunch of suicides. There was a whole bunch of suicides.
Oh God!
Kenny Baker's like the only one that didn't die. Or they have a high suicide rate. What do you call them? That community. Let's call it that.
Little people.
Yeah, which sucks.
That does suck.
But David Warner's still alive. He was the devil. He could come back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Except he died horribly in that movie, but.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
No, but the kid that puts his hand in the microwave, or his parents do.
They just got to recast. I don't think you do it as a. They're not talking about it being a sequel, right? They're talking about like a.
It's like a retelling.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I like that. I mean, it's a brilliant idea because it can be a quantum leap kind of thing where they go into a new time every episode and have to.
Yeah. Hey, you know who else just died? Someone else just died from that movie. The lady from. Benson, who was the redhead.
Oh, yes, right. Mona.
Yeah, Mona.
She'll always be Jessica Tate to me, man.
Yeah.
Catherine Hellman.
Hellman? Is that it?
Yeah, Catherine Hellman.
She was in Brazil, the other Terry Gilliam joint, with the face stretching and all that.
That's right, yeah.
She's awesome, and she plays the wife to the ogre guy in the ship when they capture all the little guys in that movie, in Time Bandits. Anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yes, right.
I'm very excited because Time Bandits was a staple of my childhood. I watched Time Bandits over and over and over. We had it on videotape, and I ruined that tape. I watched it so much. So you've already got me on board, and Tiki Wakatiti is awesome. We all love him.
Tiki Wakatiti.
His production world is on fire right now. He's got that TV version of What We Do in the Shadows is coming.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot that he was involved in that. Oh, that's awesome.
It's his creation, so I guess it's more of a producer role. I don't think he's like directing episodes, not starring in it anyway, but Jermaine Clement's writing a bunch of it, and
Fantastic.
These are all good times if you're a Tiki Taka Wakatiti fan. If you're a fan of that guy, you're in. All right, here's
my favorite thing to order at Taco Bell.
Yeah. You can get that al fresco, Brian.
The Tiki Wakatiti Deluxe.
Yeah, al fresco. All right, check this out.
Yeah.
A suspected shoplifter drank a six-pack of beer in a Target dressing room. Yeah.
Listen, I wasn't a shoplifter.
It's a lady.
Drink lifter.
You're okay because it was a lady. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. All right, good.
Police in Lathrop. This is in, I don't know where this is. I don't know where Lathrop is. It's probably Florida.
Sounds northeast.
Maybe. Says a suspected, or say a suspected drank. They've written that wrong. Police in Lathrop say a suspected drank, that must be suspect drank, an entire six-pack of beer inside a Target dressing room. How do you have
California,
a typo in your first four letters?
San Joaquin County, California. So,
how do you have your fifth word in your paragraph be a typo?
that's not paying attention, isn't it? Yeah,
it's not. I'm annoyed by that. Anyway,
northeast of San Jose, by the way, is Lathrop.
Okay, not too far from.
Quite far from the northeast.
Well, far from there, but not far. I just mean San Jose, but yeah, very far from the northeast.
No, I mean I was the one who said it. I was thinking northeast, but anyway.
Let's see. Saturday afternoon.
Say suspected drank.
Yeah, it has to be suspect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, say a suspect drank an entire.
I'm annoyed.
I think they had another word there, and they said, we don't need that word. And instead of changing suspected to suspect, they just left it.
That's what you get with local news, Fox 40 local news over there. They don't know how to type. Saturday afternoon, officers say a woman took her cart and six-pack of Stella Artois.
Artois. Stella Artois, man. Oh, that's the good
Yeah.
one. You get that in a chalice. You drink it out of a chalice.
Hold on, that's good beer?
That is good beer. Stella Artois, yeah.
Never heard of it. It sounds like it's fine. It's a fancy name.
You've probably seen the commercials. Basically, they have the chalice with a gold rim that you drink the beer out of.
Okay.
And then you take a saber and you slice off the foamy head off the top of the chalice.
Wow. That's a fancy beer then.
That's right.
You get it at Target? Beer. Just Target has this?
I guess you get it at Target. I like their cider, which is fancy because they pronounce it cider. It's a C-I-D-R-E, cider.
Well,
Some people are saying it's not fancy. I thought Stella Artois was a fancy beer.
I mean, is there really such a thing as a fancy beer? Aren't all beers kind of not fancy at the end of the day? I mean, at the end, aren't they all just sort of? I don't know. There's probably there's a quality. There's a difference between Miller Lite and Stella Artois, probably. But
they're saying it's the owner of Budweiser. Oh, really? Okay. I felt like it was it was the European beer that it was claiming itself to be.
Well, maybe they bought it. Maybe it used to be a small brewery thing.
Apparently, it's in Europe they consider it like we consider Pabst Blue Ribbon. So okay, all right, never mind.
Swill, they like to call it. She took it in her dressing room. She stayed there for like an hour. She finished the whole six-pack, and then the woman left the store with $200 in merchandise without paying, including the beer, technically.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that. Doesn't say she might have bought the beer, then went in the dressing room, drank it, made her plans for the shoplifting excursion.
Yeah. I have a feeling she didn't pay for the beer. I could be wrong. I'm just going to make that assumption. The woman was later identified as Eliza Johnson, no relation. She was arrested and booked into the San Joaquin County Jail on suspicion of shoplifting and for 3 other warrants. Yeah, nice job. At least you're drunk when you get arrested.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you want.
But great life choices when you're drunk.
Yeah.
6-pack of beer helped her decide that I'm gonna go steal a whole thing of scented candles.
Suddenly, I'm fully aware what Brian thinks of when he thinks of Target.
What am I thinking of Target is? Yeah.
Yeah. I think of the electronics section. I think of headphones and clock radios for some reason.
Hey, they sell iPods, man. They sell iPads. They got everything you want at Target.
They do. They carry higher end stuff, and you can go get yourself like a brand new Samsung Galaxy S10 or a iPhone 10 there. Like they try to go a little higher than Walmart. I do prefer spending time at Target. I think it depends on what part of the country you're in, because California Targets are apparently shitholes, from what I've been told. And the one near Disneyland's kind of a dump. But here, they're a step up for sure from Walmart. Walmart's the... Well, Kmart used to be the dump.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, Kmart's still... Well, yeah, it used to be. It's right.
I guess there's still a few Kmarts, but as far as I know, there's still a couple. I don't know. A lot of abandoned ones here, though. Nobody buys out these old Kmarts. They're just sitting there rotting in the sun.
What you can get at Target, though, as a Target exclusive, is the Martin Freeman action figure from Black Panther.
Look at that. Oh, I love when you narrated that Penguins movie. It was so good. Oh, Martin Freeman, I see.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, he's one of... Have you seen that meme going around about how many Dr. Watsons get sucked into the MCU? Like, it's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's him.
We already had a lot of Sherlocks, right? Because you've got your... I guess we just have the two, Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right.
Do we have more? We have more Watsons?
You have more Watsons, and I don't have the whole list in front of me, but it's like 7 guys. And some of them are smaller parts.
Oh, wow.
Some are smaller parts than, like...
Here we go. The 5 Watsons of the MCU.
There it is.
Got it right here.
5, 7, something like that.
5 Watsons. All right, so we've got... all right, here's the list. Just give me the photo. Don't lead me to the... All right. Oh. All right, well, some of these guys... All right, so Jude Law was a Watson.
Mm-hmm. Now he's just freshly in it.
Yes, right. What's his face from the Will Ferrell... John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, yep. He's in there.
John C. Reilly. From Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I can't tell who the 5th... All right, let me give you a link. Because I can't tell who a couple of these guys are.
Oh, you know what? It's actually 3 Sherlocks if you count X-Men movies, even though those are Fox, because Ian McKellen is both Sherlock and an X-Man. Oh, yeah, there they all are. Who's that one at the end?
I don't know. I don't know who did the voice of that guy.
I don't either.
Was that from Sherlock Gnomes?
Sure, it probably was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid if that's true. Anyway, there's a lot of Sherlocks, a lot of Dr. Watsons. It's a very strange thing to have happen.
I know, and I want the this Reddit page I went to does not list who those people are.
Are you a little bummed that you never see Martin Freeman and Doctor Strange in the same scenes? Like, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe we will in Endgame.
Maybe if he comes back. He's dust right now, so we got to, we don't know if he's coming back, do we?
No. We don't. It's true.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley was Watson in Without a Clue. He was in Iron Man 3 as, what was it, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. There he is. Yep, you're right. Jude Law, Martin Freeman, John C. Reilly.
Ejiofor was in Doctor Strange. Yeah, he played Watson in Sherlock Gnomes, so that's Chiwetel Ejiofor. Usman Ali was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He played Watson in stage play. Lucy Liu plays Watson in Elementary, and she directed Luke Cage season 2 episode 1. Wow. I don't know how much that counts.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, it's MCU.
That's a weird connection, but still, it's impressive. But they need to get Martin Freeman and Cumberbatch in a scene together in one of these movies. Come on now.
Have them just kind of look at each other knowingly, and
yeah, they're sick of each other at this stage.
Yeah, do you think is there going to be a scene in Men in Black with Hemsworth and can't remember her name.
Philandri von Smirnog. What's her name?
Phalange von Smirnoff. That's exactly it.
Yeah, they give her a
Is
name.
there going to be some like knowing glance that they give Tessa Thompson? Is there going to be some knowing glance that that he gives her or she gives him at some point? By the way, I did say that before I saw Jackalope Ashley type it in the chat room. I want to just say that for the record.
It's totally fine. I'm sure there would have been a full investigation had you not said that just now. We would have been weeks into this process, so I'm glad you brought that up. Final stories. This is just a word of caution, okay? You're not a teenager, Brian, but you play one on TV. No, you're not a teenager. Don't jump off of things and take selfies. A teen survived a 50-foot plunge. That's good that they survived it, but they did it just to take a selfie from a bridge and just about died. This is a Texas teen. His name was Tristan Bailey, 18, lucky to be alive after falling from a bridge. Bailey says you see it all over social media, people climbing to great heights for a perfect picture on Instagram or Facebook with really cool cameras. We wanted to have our own. They took this picture from the Dallas skyline, so they climbed up Margaret Dermont Bridge. They said Bailey went over the bridge's concrete barriers and fell 50 feet trying to get a photo for social media. He doesn't remember any of this. They heard me scream.
I love the quote is the best.
Yeah. He says, they heard me scream and they thought I was joking. I broke my pelvis. I had a rib fracture and a punctured lung. I broke my face a whole bunch and I had lacerated my spleen.
I broke my face a whole bunch.
Study from researchers found 250 people worldwide died from taking selfies in the last 6 years. More than 70% of the victims were men in their 20s. Knock it off, dumbasses.
The lady a couple days ago who at the Phoenix Zoo wanted to take a picture with a leopard, and she got mauled.
She die?
No. She, but there's video of her like laying on the ground going,
That sounds like the grape stepping lady from back in the day. Remember her when she fell?
I remember that. Yes, she can't catch her breath, basically.
Oh, that poor woman. I felt bad for her. I did hear about this. I'm glad she didn't perish. But listen, photos aren't that important, guys. Don't worry about it. Just don't do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Bill, jury, and more. Before that, though, song from Brian. Brian, what do you got for me?
Instead of taking a selfie, we're going to take a break. Wyndham Garnett is our musician today. Just goes by Wyndham as far as his music goes. Multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, producer based in L.A. He was an original member of the band Elvis Perkins and Deerland and Diamond Doves and a former touring member of Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, who I like a lot. And he's open for folks like My Morning Jacket, Levon Helm, and many others. This is the kind of stuff. This is my jam. This kind of atmospheric California pop. I love the reverb, the echo on it. Super cool. Brand new album is called A Fistful of Stars. This is the song Time to Kill. Brand new album from Wyndham.
Whoa! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Ow! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Arum! Arum!
Mrs. Featherston will have me blacklisted by the Lala.
Welcome to day one of the 2020 presidential campaign. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Good to be back. Hey, Bill's coming in.
Bill.
Yeah, so just
Good old Bill.
put on your pants and grab your mothers. It's time for this.
But Bill just isn't thinking about danger.
Hello, Bill, who's always thinking about danger.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good morning, Bill.
I have all my fingers.
Oh,
so
that's good. Every week we got to do a finger check.
Finger check. Got them all. Great.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yep, that's good. Because you use weird tools and chemicals and things that could change that very quickly for you.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Yeah, if you're not careful. Bill Duran, of course, the maven of punishprops.com, a fantastic website, and its associated YouTube channel where he shows off making all kinds of cool stuff. We like talking about making things. We live in the time of 3D printers and fabrication that people can do in their own little garage and build
resin molds and foam sculpting and all that stuff.
And Bill Duran makes it look easy, him and his wife, and he's here to talk today about one of those things. Bill, what's going on this week?
I did some foam sculpting there, Brian. I made a mask. So I've been playing the crap out of the new Far Cry game, Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's amazing. I love it so much.
I like it too.
I want to make all the weapons. There's a saw launcher. I don't know if you guys played on No Tournament, but the Ripper.
Yep. It's basically the
saw
Ripper.
blades that bounce around.
Yep, it's basically the Ripper, and if you aim it right, you can take multiple heads off of multiple dudes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, while they're like driving a Jeep. It's the best feeling in the world. Just shunk shunk and they're gone.
So,
yeah.
I did not make the saw blade launcher yet, not yet, but I did make a mask from the game. I only had a couple days to build something. So there's a character called the Judge. He doesn't talk. He has a mask that covers his whole face. He or she, I don't know, could be either. But it's a cool like wooden mask with just a couple of eyes in it. Fairly simple, but still has some really fun detail and wood grain into it.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So that's what I made, and I made it out of EVA foam.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everyone's
cool.
surprised.
Oh, that's cool looking. Like the.
Let me ask you a question about these guns. The game is famous for, or that particular game is famous for its liberal use of very bright colors, including lots of pinks.
Yeah.
Were you tempted here to go nuts with that, or how did that part go, I guess?
Well, a couple things. One, the video you're playing is the Fallout gun I made last week.
Oh, this is linked on your thing. I think your link is wrong.
Yeah, give me
could be.
Yeah. Let me check.
But
here's the link you want to use. This is the new sexy mask.
Yeah,
business.
just so you know, your website check it out link goes to your old thing. Just so you know.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, the mask. I actually, it's mostly like white-ish, like it was painted white and then it got all dirty. But when I took pictures of it, I used some nice bright colors like blues and I put some gels on the lights to make it look all stylish and cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Look at you. The actual mask I made, all out of EVA foam. I made a pattern for it. It's for free to download on my website if the link is correct. But this is a really fun beginner project. It's fairly simple. If you watch the video that we put together and download the template, you should be able to put it together yourself, no problem. So if you're looking for a fun first project to get into EVA foam making, this is a good one.
My favorite part of this is you're pretending to play a video game at the beginning and how you would juke and jive.
Yeah. On my Macintosh that doesn't have the game on it, so I had to just play back footage of the game.
Video,
right? Pretend I was playing. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell.
So cool.
Yeah, it is pretty rad. Oh, look at that.
So it's meant to look like wood. So once I got the EVA foam shaped to fit over my face and had the eye holes cut out, I had to carve a wood grain into it, and I did that using a wood burner. Now, if you're going to do something like this at home, you'll want to work in a well-ventilated area.
Do it outside, because melting foam and breathing those fumes. Oh, that's the everything will start looking like wood after a while.
It sure will. But the effect is really, really cool. You get that relief, you get that texture. When you weather it, those deep cracks will gather some of that weathering paint to make it look dirtier. It's so cool. If you're trying to make something look like wood, you want it to feel like wood too. You want to add that texture to it. Cool. I also went in and covered the whole thing in Mod Podge, which is a lot like Elmer's glue. And when it was sort of tacking up and starting to dry a little bit, I would drag a chip brush across the surface to add an even finer texture to it. And I think it worked out pretty well. Yeah,
I think it looks really good. So are you going to do that? Cool. You going to do that gun next? The blade thing? Ripper thing?
I want to. I just I don't know when I'm going to be able to make the time to do it, but I really want to make it.
Yeah, it's yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say one of the reasons why I'm a little short on time is because we have Emerald City Comic Con this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing? I know you're hosting some sort of party or meetup or something's going on.
Yes. So I'm on a panel on Friday, and then we're doing a meetup on Saturday. All that we're going to share all that stuff on social media. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll hear all about it.
Yeah, look for that.
But it's going to be super fun.
Look for that on Chimbird. So here's the thing I like about New Dawn that is probably what's got you all creative juice in here.
Yeah.
Traditionally Far Cry, well, really Far Cry 1, but even mostly 2 and forward, it's always been at least rooted in a decent level of reality, right? Like it's just run and gun and kill and do and stuff and blah blah blah, and there's not really, they don't go very fantastical with the game, and that's fine. That's kind of where it lives and breathes. This game is set in this 17 years later after a nuke drops, post-apocalyptic sort of follow-up to 5, and it's not full. They decided to go a very different route than Mad Max, where everything's decimated. Instead, nature came back in a major way, so it's like a very colorful game and everything. It's probably impossible not to just watch some of that or look at that scenery and those locations and the building sort of style they've gone for, and the way they use spray paint everywhere, and the liberal use of yellows and pinks and greens and that sort of thing. It's probably impossible not to get inspired to want to do this. I mean, would you agree with that? Yeah, because it seems like whenever you go deep into a game like this,
right,
you come out and go, "Oh my gosh, I need to make 12 of the things I saw today."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I am deep in this game. I got every companion. I leveled them all up all the way. I tagged everything on the map. I did everything. I shouldn't say that. I should go double check my list, make sure I did everything. But I haven't fallen this hard into a game in a long time, and I will make more stuff from this game, and I'm excited too.
That's great. Yeah, it's generally been well received. People like it. 5 wasn't as much, but this one is doing okay, and that's awesome. I just love the reason I bring all that up is I think it's important for people to hear where Bill's getting his inspiration, and if there's something you're passionate about, whether it's a video game or it's I don't know, some movie you're really into or whatever it is, sometimes just acting on that inspiration as soon as you've consumed it is a good idea. Just eat it and go.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I dig it. And I especially like New Dawn compared to, like, I've always loved the Far Cry games, but I've never been inspired to make anything from them.
Right.
Because up until now, the weapons and costumes have been fairly contemporary. I don't want to build an AK-47. You can just buy an airsoft gun if you want that. But since in this post-apocalyptic world, all the guns are like hodgepodge together. The silencer is like a spray paint can. This saw launcher is like an amalgamation of tools from the hardware store. That, to me, like that aesthetic, I'm like, that looks challenging. That looks fun. I want to make that. So I'm personally really excited because I've always loved those games that they're designing things that I now want to make.
Yeah.
So, I'll make more from this game.
It fulfills that Fallout thing without the, I don't know, it's just a different tone. They've done a cool thing here. I like it a lot. That game's really good. I'm not nearly as far as you are, obviously. You've leveled up everybody. You level up the dog even? You got the dog all leveled up?
Timber's my buddy, man. I got a motorcycle with a sidecar, and my little dog buddy can ride around in it. It's the best.
I saw a screen cap of you doing that. It's pretty awesome. I didn't understand how companions worked early on, and the girl that's part of the story at the beginning, that's like your first companion.
Yeah.
She dead. I got her killed during the fight. I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought she was just going to be one of these, spongy characters that, at the worst, like in Diablo or Skyrim or something, when they got hurt, they get down on one knee for a while or something and come back to whatever. No, she's freaking dead.
Oh no.
Her mother's going to kill me because she's all part of the story. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
If you go into your companion tab on the menu, you can revive her.
Oh, you can?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Because I left her out in the dirt. That shows how far I am from where you are.
One last thing about Far Cry New Dawn: Nana, the sniper companion, best character in the game.
Wow.
Go find Nana and just run around with her. Her dialogue is hysterical.
Is she an old lady? Like a grandma?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. She's a sniper senior citizen.
Okay.
Herc's pretty funny, too. If Nicole's listening, Herc's one of my favorites. That's one of her favorites.
Yeah, so. She's been playing this game, too, like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right. Good job, Ubisoft. You got new fans this time for this Far Cry. It's also cheap. It's like $39 for
a
brand new
it's
game.
A great game.
Bill, anything you want to leave us with? Any final links or ideas like you often
Absolutely.
do? All right.
Our pal Odin over at Odin Makes is at it again. He made the helmet from Captain Marvel out of foam.
Oh, look at that thing.
Yeah.
That's foam?
It's foam.
Oh, what?
That
How
looks
do you
like-
make the glowy bit at the top? The
Oh,
mohawk.
you're gonna have to watch the video and find out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Did you see the movie yet?
I have not seen it yet. No.
Okay. It's pretty easy to still get excited about that uniform or her costume. It's really, really awesome. What's this blue thing he's putting on top of it? That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He made an EVA foam head form to wrap around his existing head form to thicken it.
Yeah.
To make the whole thing like a size bigger.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's smart. Yeah.
Because that's a problem, right? If you make a thing the normal size, it's going to be tight and annoying, and you're going to not wear it. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Is that metal?
At some point, I want to get a life cast done, but I don't know what I would do with it. You know, it's not like I make stuff a lot enough to make it worth it. But
but you could like dress it up every day.
I could, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons to have a head cast of yourself, even if you don't want to make anything. Leave it in the shower, so when people open the curtain to go in the shower, your head's right there. Yeah. There's a lot of good reasons.
Do they do the
you want to
wiener?
get your I was gonna say, if you want to get your head cast, let me know. I'll come over and I'll make a mold of your head.
All right, sounds good. I'm in, totally in.
Yeah. Do they do the wiener or no? Do they avoid the wiener?
I mean, I'm sure they have life cast wieners.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure the context here.
Well,
it is
Pamela DeBar was great at those, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, Scott, it is possible to make a mold and cast a copy of your wiener.
Okay, so I could do whole body naked and just all of it, right? They could just cast the whole unit.
They can. I won't, but someone can, I'm sure.
The mysterious they will definitely pull this off. All right. Well,
I can find. You want to get a live cast of your entire naked body, Scott? I probably will find someone who could do it. So if you're serious, you know, just send me a DM.
You let me know. I mainly just want to see their rate card. I want to know what this sort of thing costs. You know, I don't want to commit just yet, but we'll see how that goes. It's Bill Duran, everybody. He is at punishprops.com and Chinbeard on Twitter. Follow him this weekend if you haven't already, because, like he said, lots of Emerald City Comic-Con stuff going on up there in Seattle, and you'll want to follow that if you are intending to go to that meetup, especially. Bill, have a fantastic week. We'll see you later.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
See ya.
Don't get pink eye.
Gosh, no.
It's good advice.
Golly.
Good gosh golly.
Don't.
Yeah, good gosh golly. All right, Justin Robert Young incoming. No idea what we're talking about today. No idea. I didn't call him ahead of time. I got no plan. He's just going to come on. We'll see if we can change the world one call at a time. Here's this thing.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Hey, you guys, check it out. It's Justin Robert Young from, I guess he's back because I see him in his studio, all the way from Oakland, California. Previously, was in Texas, was in Austin for South by Southwasted. I'm sure we're going to get an update on that as well. But Justin, welcome to the show.
Oh, well, hello, Scott. It's good to be back with you.
Oh, fantastic. You sound great, by the way. I don't know what's going on there.
Thank you.
Discord behaving.
Hi, Gerbs.
Oh, hi. I can't see you. Your video wasn't.
I know. Sorry. It was.
It's back now.
For some reason, when Scott added you, it killed my connection. It had to reconnect.
Oh,
Great.
to the whole thing?
Great.
Yeah, Discord's awesome.
Yeah.
See, another reason to really like Discord.
I'm just glad that. Hey, I just want to let you know, Scott, it never happens for anyone else. Right?
Never
happens for anyone.
Yeah, as far as I know, this is only a Justin. It's actually true. I don't have this problem until Justin comes on. That's literally the truth. So
and Scott now, but other than that, just me and Scott just now. But other than that, nobody.
The only time I've ever seen it glitch like this at all, ever, is when you come on the show. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it isn't.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm just here to so I don't get fined.
All right. Well, don't worry about the fine. I'll cover it. Hey, so how was the So Wasted business? It sounds like it was fun.
Oh my lord! It was such a great event. Thank you to anybody who came out. It was a lot of stress. To put stuff together. You know that very well from the much larger events with the Nerdtacular, and of course Coverville. You know from doing the Coverville stuff.
Sure can be.
But it was really rewarding to see everything go off without a hitch, and to watch. We had 5 acts, I think. I mean, a lot of the same people shuffling on and off, but
I saw a lot of pictures of Tom with a big fake finger. Or the thumb, doing that thumbs down game you guys play, right? Is that what that was all about?
We did this time. We did Celebrity Don't Get Brodied. Normally, Don't Get Brodied is we have people come in and they tell their stories from the audience. The concept of the game is that the second that one of our panel, it only takes one, that has their thumb go all the way down in disinterest, or you're rambling too long. Then you get the hook, right? And it goes rodeo time.
Right.
So the person who tells the story for the longest winds up winning. And so this time we decided we were going to not subject the audience to this torture, but rather we would eat our own dog food and get up on stage and play Don't Get Brodied ourselves. And to do it, we brought in a bunch of special guests. And so we needed somebody, the most even-handed person that we could think of that would fairly represent the entire audience's aggregate of thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right.
And that was Tom Merritt.
Yeah.
So we had to get a big fake thumb so he could be read from the cheap seats.
Tom Thumb, you could call him now.
It was Tom's thumb.
Yeah.
Tom's thumb.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There it
Nailed
is.
it.
So the only memory I have of that particular game, other than smatterings here and there on a night attack I would catch or something, is the live one you guys did at a Nerdtacular. Probably 2014 is my memory, because Veronica was on your thumbs down panel, part of it.
Yeah.
And her thumb was mostly down the entire time. And I remember thinking, I remember thinking, she's just got no patience for this business.
I mean, is there any part of knowing Veronica that would give you the sense that she does?
Anything else? Yeah.
No, she definitely lets you know when things aren't going your way. But anyway, but that's great. I'm glad you guys had fun. I heard from some Frog Panther night attack crossover folks that they had a great time there, and it seemed like you guys did really well. Everyone seemed really sweaty, which is a memory for me. All Nerdtaculars, I sweat constantly the entire time. And so I noticed this. I just noticed that any stage shots, anybody talking, comedy bits.
It's funny. I don't remember sweating. Now, that's not to say that I didn't, because, obviously adrenaline's running high whenever you're up on stage in front of that many people. But also when you're running it, there is that much more adrenaline pressure on you. So I could have been sweating through my shirt, but I don't remember doing it.
Yeah. Well,
but then again, I'm also a swarthy man. I look like I'm constantly sweating.
This is true. All right. So we don't really have anything on the docket today. You have a list of things you could probably tell us about. We could go anywhere from Tim Apple and how that story changed from. Can we just talk about that for a second? Actually, can we just talk about that for a second? This isn't this isn't even going to be a political thing. I just need to understand it. I want to try to understand the psychology here. It's probably a better question for Wendy, but I just want to discuss it. The other day, he makes a mistake. A lot of us do. Made a verbal flub at a meeting, a round table thing with a bunch of business executives. One of them was Tim Cook, sitting right next to him from Apple, and he called him Tim Apple and then moved on. And the internet had their fun. Oh, Trump's a big dummy. Ha ha, whatever. And what you could have done there, if I was Trump, is said, yeah, well, I'm busy. I screwed it up, and move on. Like, quit making it a deal.
I mean, like, I would even go further to say you probably didn't have to talk about it.
You probably didn't even need to acknowledge it.
They're talking on mic a lot, and oftentimes, there are mistakes. Every president has mistakes on mic.
Every human being does. Like, that's just a human thing. It's a president. It's everybody thing. It just happens to be a lot of mics for him. So what are you going to do? Not that big a deal.
Jeff Amazon make that same mistake.
Right,
so.
Jeff Amazon always. I mean, everyone forgot about the Maria Lockheed or whatever her name was at the same meeting. But anyway, the point is, he does that, and then everybody has a laugh, which is the way it goes in America. And then he stands up in front of a bunch of donors and he says, that's fake news. What they didn't hear me say it quicker. I'm very fast with names, and I said Tim Cook from Apple, but I said it so fast nobody heard it, which was a complete fabrication. There's no way he did that. And so I thought, oh, that's the story we're going to go with. Okay, fine. It's a great way to rile people up and say more fake news and all that. And then the next day, he does a tweet where he says, I like to save words and time. And so when I say things like Tim and Apple, I'm eliminating a syllable just to save time, was essentially what it was. So he contradicts his day's previous statement about it and then does that one. And so my question after all of this is,
follow the money. Finally, we're focusing on the important things in government. I'm glad. We're finally taking politics seriously. Yes. Let's focus on whether or not the changing evolution of a verbal flub. Yes, let's do it.
But
Drag
that's my
him.
point.
Yes,
but that's my
please.
point. My point exactly is
he's doing it for you because you want to talk about it. This is literally why he's doing it. He will keep, and then he'll change his story again, and then you'll get something else to talk about because he enjoys giving people what they want, and he is giving you what you want, which is something to talk about.
I don't think he's that smart. I think that he's literally being defensive.
One thing that is undisputable, that is not in dispute, is that man understands media better than any president in the mass media era. He understands social media. He understands broadcast media. He understands print media. He understands
it, or happens to be the kind of personality that creates a bunch of stink around it naturally, and it's not really some skill.
No,
it's
like
just
he was
thing.
the guy that was calling gossip columnists to let them know what the stories were, and then he would call gossip columnists to let them know the other stories that he heard about other people. So when he needed something run, he was able to call them and say, "Oh, well, make sure that you say that this building's going to sell for $600 million." Because that's really what I want to buy it for. Ha ha ha. Right? Like this, he is the most prescient media manipulator that we have seen in the White House, certainly since Reagan, who famously was great at understanding the 24-hour news cycle. There's no doubt. I don't know even who would be close because nobody else worked in that professionally. Like, it shouldn't be close. His job was to maintain the brand of the Trump name. And the way he maintained the brand of the Trump name was keeping the Trump name in the news. Do you think that he just stopped doing that? Or he stopped after that elects him president? That he's like, oh, well, cool. My job is done. Now I'm just going to be a guy who talks.
What you've actually told me, if you want to put it in other words, is that he's really good at deceit. And so he knows how to deceive using the tools at hand. I don't know if that's the same as, this is a man who's very savvy at media stuff. It doesn't work. It's not the same. The meaning's different. He's good at lying, and he's good at spreading it and then changing it and not having people freak out that he wants to.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't have a tremendous amount of respect for people in the public relations profession. So there's a lot of that I would say is dumb or manipulative. My point that I think is indisputable is that he understands how the systems work. And he understands the pressure points, and he understands more specifically how to make the jobs of people in media easy. If there's one thing that everybody on earth likes is having their job done for them. Imagine that for 4 years running now, you were able to walk into your office and all your work was done. All you had to do was hit send. Like there was no digging, there was no searching, there was no calling, there was no sources. All you had to do was look at your computer, and in fact, you probably even gotten a mobile alert on the way to the office, type that right up, hit send. You're done. It's easy. It is easy to do.
Yeah, but it's not.
That is how that works. That is how people who want to get, and this isn't just Trump. Like, let's remove it from the political context. Let's remove it from whether or not, he's a liar or not in the White House, right? Let's imagine you're selling an album. Let's imagine that you're selling a television show. How do you do that? You go on earned media. You go on talk shows. You go make sure that you appear on the cover of Cosmo. You do all these things. Why? Because it makes their job easier to have a celebrity on. It makes their magazine sell more when you have a celebrity on. You're making it easy for them. That is when I say that Donald Trump understands the media, that's what I mean more than anything else. He understands how it works, who's doing it, and who their bosses are.
Yeah, I guess
that's what he gets.
I guess I don't disagree. I agree with that. I think that the only analogy I would make here is that it's a little bit like a professional chef who focuses and spends all his time making nothing but souffles out of cat shit, and then serves up the cat shit to everybody. So he's really good at it, knows it really well, knows how to serve up that cat shit, but at the end of the day, it's still cat shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, but that I think is something that gets said about a lot of presidents. If you don't like them, if you don't like what they're selling, then the political messaging on it, you're like, well, yeah, that's what they say they're saying, but really they're saying bleep blop bloop, right? Yeah.
But you're saying, but you are in your own words, you're saying he's the best cat shit cook we've ever had, is what you're saying.
No. I'm saying that I'm not even going to deal with your metaphor. I don't really understand it, to be totally honest. I'm saying that Barack Obama didn't like the press. He liked certain people, and he would always, and this is something that happens in presidencies in general, you like certain writers, you like certain anchors, you have a relationship with them, or somebody on your staff does, so you'll give them things. But in general, you don't like the press because you think the press is going to be somebody that can only cause you problems. The difference between Donald Trump, both as a politician and as a president, is he doesn't care about the mistakes. He cares about the headlines because that's how he's lived his life. He doesn't care if the headline is Trump's a doof, everybody else hates Trump, right? Because then he can say, wow, you're being really mean. I'm going to go to this the paper across town, and I'm going to make sure that I tell them this rumor I heard about how your paper's up for sale, or about how everybody in the editorial department hates everybody at the news department.
He's the living embodiment of there's no such thing as bad publicity.
100%. He's a volume shooter.
Yes.
It does not matter what is being said as long as it is about
being said about him. Yeah, right.
And so
did you say, hold on, did you say a volume shooter?
Yeah, it's a sports metaphor. I know it's not as universally understood as cat shit cook, but
no, I thought it was. I
always heard that term applied to porn.
Yeah, I thought it was a sperm thing. That's what I thought.
Things that make you go, Things that make you go, Things that make you go.
No, that's the thing. You can go.
Ears,
you can go.
Listen,
you can go into a doctor's office and have him say, "Yeah, your volume's a little low." Like that's not a porny term.
Your volume's a little low?
Yeah. Yes.
I have never in my life had a doctor tell me my volume of sperm was low.
Well, when's the last time
he wants to see you because he thinks you're a volume shooter?
When's the last time? Hold on. When's the last time you had your sperm tested?
I don't know. You're right. I haven't had my sperm tested in a while.
All right.
So
well, when my brother-in-law went in there, that's all they could talk about was terms with the word volume in it. So, because they're talking about volume, how much of it is, what's the sperm count in the semen? Is it high? Is it low? Are you but I don't know if they ever said.
I remember when I went in there for like fertility testing and stuff. I remember the nurse knocking on the door and saying, "Brian, could you turn the volume down?" But I don't remember anything else about.
On your braziers, your braziers.
My braziers video,
yeah. Volume, huh? Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite tag?
No, it's sperm volume. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because it's a very common thing. Here we go.
Stepmom finds out stepson's a volume shooter.
Here you go. I got you right here. The average volume of semen produced at ejaculation is at 2.
Of course, if you search for the word semen and volume, you're going to find something.
Well, yeah. No, it's not just to find something. That's a common. What I'm saying is that's common terminology in
So just
fertility.
Search volume shooter and see what comes up.
Oh, that's a good idea. Volume shooter. A volume shooter is a player who takes a lot of shots to score a lot of points.
I've
never heard of that.
I was saying.
Well, no, I knew you were right. I wasn't saying you were wrong. I was just saying that was the thing. Okay, hurry. Volume shooter Urban Dictionary. Let's see what they say.
Okay.
Hold on. This should be fun.
Jeez.
Or it could be the worst idea ever. Hold on. What is a volume shooter?
You have to read all of them, though. At least the top.
Right, yes.
You can't go down this road without reading the top 3 verbatim.
All right, volume shooter. It's not coming up. Oh, just a shooter. There's no volume shooter. All right.
Volume shooter's not on Urban Dictionary?
No.
That's shocking.
It says a cooter shooter. Oh, never mind. We're not reading that. Not reading it. Look up GURP. GURP's a fun one. If you look up GURP, here's what you do. You do number 1, best orc hunter of all time in World of Warcraft. GURP killed a mean, mobs with one shot, hunter, orc, Warcraft, MMO. That was in 2009. The next one below it is to choke on one's testicles. So you always have to read the second and third, or else what are you even doing there?
You want to know what a hooter shooter is?
No, I don't. I don't.
It's a guy who hunts owls.
No, it's not. It's not awful. It's when a woman holds a shot of alcohol in the middle of her bra.
Okay.
The person taking the shot moves up the woman's stomach with their tongue and takes a shot with no. Actually, that got worse.
I saw Ben Affleck do that in Armageddon.
Yeah, no, it was except with a instead of
animal
beer,
crackers.
it was an animal
I think
cracker,
the animal crackers were migrating south, which was a very odd, potentially unsanitary moment in that
That's
otherwise
known as a cracker stacker.
movie. Yeah.
The animal cracker hippo was moving south for the summer. It's no good.
This is not a good.
Anyway, I didn't mean to go there. I just hadn't heard that phrase before. So volume shooter, he's a guy that just goes blah, throws it all out there.
Look, he just does it a lot, and like I'm not. Someone said that we shouldn't fetishize his media strategy, and I'm not trying to say that. I'm only trying to say that he starts a lot of fires because he knows that the fires will be covered, and like so he's a chaos agent there. And in that vein, we should not be surprised when if he sees Tim Apple trending, then he's going to steer into that skid and say, no, what I meant was, I mean, this is, he tweeted Kofefe and then stuck on, oh, that's my secret term. And but only the coolest people know what it is.
So it's our fault is what you're saying. It's on us. We're the problem.
No, you are not the problem. You are the customer.
Right. I need to stop being a customer.
I need very, very happy. You are so thrilled.
I'm not.
You keep wanting more of it.
I hate it. I don't like it.
You vote with your eyeballs, and you keep searching after everything. And in the number 1 list, you were listing off things that we could talk about, and you couldn't get past number 1 because you like it so much you wanted to talk about it.
No, you're right. Actually, I only really had one. I couldn't think of anything else today. I'm sure there's other stuff.
Pelosi coming out and saying that she actually is not in favor of impeachment because it's not worth it to spend all that effort.
Says he's not worth it is her exact phrase. Says he's not worth it. Which I have a friend who listens to the show who works at a place I can't mention, who sent me a private message and said, I won't use his name, so this will all be anonymous, but he says all of the analysts here think she knows something and that it is what's coming down the pipe from Mueller probably is impeachable offenses, and this is her way. Because she's very careful about her words. In his words, she's very careful about her words. This is her way of stacking the deck toward the idea that, that stuff is so shocking, we have to impeach.
That now she'll be swayed to do it.
Right, which gives him...
That would be counter to all the stuff that I've seen, in that it seems like consistently people are starting to walk back the idea, and this would be a part of that trend. Now, you never know. Nancy Pelosi is somebody that is extraordinarily savvy politically. I think there's a reason why, despite the fact that she is viewed as a pariah from the other side and somebody that could be used to beat up on Democratic causes, and often is, that she retained her speakership.
Yeah.
If it is indeed her saying that exactly what she's saying, if we are to take her at her word and not assume that there is something further there, then I think we are seeing the rise and the widening of a rift between a lot of the very loud, popular, insurgent Democrats in the House, up to and including the freshman representative Ilhan Omar and Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
I think at that point, I have long thought that for Ocasio-Cortez, who is a meteor streaking across the sky in terms of popularity, she is somebody that has very much captured the nation's attention as this, a figurehead for millennials and millennial thought, right? Which oftentimes can be specifically on the Democratic side, in the Democratic Socialist vein.
Right.
But I would think her question that she has to ask herself is, does she want to be in the House of Representatives, where it seems unlikely she will ever lose because she is in a very blue district, or does she want to try for the Senate with Chuck Schumer, as she waits for whether or not she wants to run for president?
Yeah.
Because she is certainly popular enough to do it now, but does she want to be the youngest female Speaker of the House? And I have not done the research, but I would guess she might be the youngest and ever.
Yeah, I think she would be. Yeah, and she can't. I mean, president, you can't run till what's the date? 39 or whatever it is. Whatever it is. There's some.
Now, here's the other thing about impeachment, and this is something that Captain Kipper points out in the chat room, which is absolutely true, is that to do it now, you are, even if you're doing it to show that you did and that you believe it is right, there is almost certainly a political cost. And what I heard in Pelosi's terms of he's not worth it is, look, it's going to go to the Senate and it's going to fail there. Everyone's going to dig in their heels. And if there's one thing that will absolutely happen if they try to impeach, is that everybody comes home. The Never Trumpers come home. The you didn't do the wall well enough come home. The blue collar folks come home, because he can prove again his central thesis. Even before the wall, before everything else, it was, this party's broken, this government is broken, and only I can fix it. He has pushed the deep state. He has pushed the swamp. He has pushed the idea that he is somebody that is not supposed to be there and is at the will of the people. He is the populist president. To have a impeachment push for anything less than ironclad evidence is going to solidify the Republican base, and it will do it right before an election.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. There's going to be a couple interesting weeks, because there's a lot of buzz also that report's way more ready than people think, despite the fact that they extended their budget a year or whatever it was.
Oh no, they said they extended the grand jury, but that goes in 6 month extension, so that doesn't really mean anything necessarily that it's going to go 6 months. I mean, we've been hearing that this thing is ready to drop literally any day now. The rumors on this have been fairly persistent. The question is, and they've been different. You know, there was one at the end of last week that it was going to drop on Friday, and it was going to come with an indictment for one of the Trump family. And that didn't happen. And then there was one 2 weeks ago that said it was going to drop, and that it was less than what people would think. But
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, just from you understand the strategy of this stuff better than anyone we have on this show, so I'm going to ask you this. And it goes a little bit with a thing that Trump said a long time ago about Fifth Avenue and a gun. But if Trump got onto a live press moment where live cameras from all the networks are filming him standing right before the helicopter to get on to go somewhere, and he does one of those events, if he suddenly stopped in his conversation, walked over to an intern or just somebody standing over there, pulled him over into camera view, pulled out a handgun and shot him in the head, and then said, "Thank you all," and then got on the helicopter to go to Mar-a-Lago or whatever.
He would be arrested.
Now, that's my question.
For murdering somebody.
Would he be arrested for murdering someone?
I'm going to go. Listen, I know this is controversial. And I know that you're going to many sides me, but I do believe that, yes, if he murdered somebody on camera, he would be arrested, and there would be removal procedures in place before the helicopter landed.
What if
he was a volume shooter?
Yeah.
Shot everybody.
No, what if he shot him in the leg? What if he pulled him over and went pew pew right in the leg? Not a death shot, but a shot in the leg with a gun. Same deal?
Is he like demonstrating gun safety and he screws up, or is he like shooting him in the leg and saying, "Ha ha ha, unlimited power"? And then he
diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, and then he winks at the camera. I think if he does that, yes, he would be arrested.
Okay, you'd really okay. All right. The reason I even asked that question is there are some days where I wonder if he really believes that.
Teflon, if he's
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he believes it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe he does, but the point is, like, you think that there is a line, and that's one of those lines where there wouldn't be a bunch of arguing going, well, I don't know, I'm not sure about impeachment, but yes, we should sure censure or what's the word? Censure the president. We should get up and do a verbal rebuke here in the Congress, but we're not going to impeach.
People are pointing out that Dick Cheney did indeed shoot somebody. That was during a hunting trip, and it wasn't a bullet.
No,
right? It was
a scatter. What do you call that?
Scatter shot.
Yeah, what's that stuff called? It's buckshot, whatever it is. It's when you're shooting pigeons or whatever. But he,
it's certainly nothing that you want shot in your face.
No,
right?
Right.
So actually, that means Dick Cheney's a volume shooter.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally. But the point is, like, if that was an accident and a verifiable
all of this
one.
Is worse than my Robert Kraft joke. My Robert Kraft joke was really funny.
It was pretty good.
Diplomatic community.
All right. Great. Sad to play that. Justin, surely there are other things happening this week you'd like the people to check out. What would that be, and where should they go?
Yeah, well, of course, if you like politics, you can follow my my political podcast, which is Politics. We've been doing a lot of other interviews lately, a lot of topic-based interviews that I would encourage everybody to go back into the feed and check out. The two that were most popular in January were an interview with a former Jimmy Kimmel writer talking about why political comedy sucks in the age of Trump, and another one that I think is actually fairly pressing and has only become more pressing as the Ilhan Omar rift in the Democratic House has kind of gotten wider, is an interview I did with a rabbi talking about how to criticize, the rules of the road of how to criticize Jewish politicians, Jewish donors, and Jewish advocacy groups and Israeli advocacy groups without being anti-Semitic. There are specific things that are touchstones to that. It is not anytime you mention one of these things, you're automatically going to be tarred and feathered as anti-Semitic. So I would encourage everybody to go listen to it. It was a very enlightening conversation.
Yeah, I think people should do that. It's good stuff. You can check that out. And, of course, follow you on Twitter at Justin Robert Young. We were going to...
R. Young.
Sorry, R. Young. I was going to mention today the thing with Tucker Carlson, but I want to save it for next week when some of that fallout comes out, whether or not it's even worth talking about.
No one will care by next week.
No one's going to care. He's not going to get fired. They're not going to fire him.
Should they?
No, they're not going to. Fox? There's no way.
No. Would you? If you ran, if it was somebody on the Frog Pants Network that had 10-year-old stuff resurface, would you fire them?
If they were bringing in millions of dollars in ad revenue, probably not.
What if it was me? 10 years. I certainly have stuff 10 years ago that probably it says things probably worse than what he got busted for.
No.
Would you ban me from the show?
You've heard that stuff. There's no way you've said something worse than that. No way.
Calling people the C word on the internet? Yeah.
Okay.
Making off-color jokes?
Okay.
We need to reevaluate Drew's contract, actually.
The contract, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm not the good comparison because it's such a mom and pop joint here. But if it was like, if I was a big network like that, there's no way they're going to do it. Here's how they do it. 80% of your advertisers have to boycott that show, and then they'll think about doing that. Otherwise, they hired him for this. This is what they hired that guy for, is controversial.
No, they didn't hire him. They didn't hire him for the 10-year-old comments he made on Bubba the Love Sponge. They hire him for the stuff he gets yelled at now for.
Right.
Like, you're right.
Right.
If it was, can you believe the segment he did last night? Yes, they hire him for that. They didn't hire him because he was a former guest on Bubba the Love Sponge.
You know, I'd never actually been asked that question, though. Let's say I find out tomorrow that 10 years ago Brian Ibbett was, I don't know what you did. You did some terrible freaking thing. Mm-hmm. What would we do? And I honestly have never had to think about it because
I'm never gonna find it.
But I understand the inclination for me personally, and maybe Fox generally, for them to go, well, we can't fire him. He's like one of our best head numbers getters. This show doesn't exist. Like I get that, and I don't like thinking about it because when it's you. Gosh dang it, Jerry, you do this to me all the time. You make me think too hard about stuff. You rat bastard. All right, he's going away now. All right, he's gone. I could go on for another 10 hours about that, but we got a show to finish.
Jerry makes us go,
Braziers.
Braziers.
All right, as promised, one final mashup, or not final, but one more mashup of me screaming like an idiot. So there's that. I'm going to play it for you, and we'll see how this goes. I'm trying to decide if I'm playing today because my eye hurts so bad and I don't want to play a video game. I can't decide.
I thought you were like, trying to decide if you're going to play the mashup because your eye hurts.
No, I'm playing the mashup for sure. But whether or not I'm playing further into that game today is a question I got to decide before then. Anyway, here it is, me playing Outlast 2. This is called Blood Bucket. Enjoy. All right, we're back in. Oh, shit! We're already in. Oh, shit. She just jammed her axe into my crotch. I don't know where to go! You guys, go! Get down! Where is she? I hate it so bad! You're obsessed with my crotch. Frickin' gosh dang it, dude. No, she's after me. Oh, shit, monkeys. I haven't found a battery. Shit. Oh, dude. Oh, shit, she's around again. I hate this game. Oh, hello. Freaking F this game right in the corn chute. Blood bucket. Bloody bucket. No one likes a blood bucket. Good hell. Battery. Shit. Potatoes! Get up! Shit. What am I supposed to do? Oh, fart picklers. Run, you butthole! Oh, shit! Pull it! Run! Shit! F you, cactus. Oh, I'm in the school. Shit! Battery! Oh, boy. Oh, what the frick? Did you see that? Not cool, guys. Ah! What is that? What was that? Patrick! Yeah, what would Jesus do? None of this! Get away from that! Ah, it's a freaking mud hole now. Put away your camera, dick. You got to keep it together. Patrick! Why did that move? Why did it move? Here we see someone is banging upon our penis. You need to get that looked at. Patrick! You barfed on me. Shit. What? What the frick? Shit, potatoes! What the H is that? Oh, no, you don't. No one's in the shitter. Nothing good going on in that toilet. Oh, my Lord. Hello. I'm Father Slippy Fingers. Yeah, I'm Father McFeely. That's what I'm worried about. Holy shit balls. Ew. Oh. Shit. Oh, cactus. Shit. F those guys. F them. That's gonna do it. Thank you for joining for me for Frog Plants. I can't even talk. It's such torture that I put myself through.
Fart Picklers is now my new favorite. I love shit potatoes, but Fart Picklers is...
Yep. Fart Picklers is my new favorite. It should be a title. Nice job, everyone. And nice job, I guess, capturing all that. Jamie, who is over at TMS Mashups on Twitter and at patreon.com/TMS Mashups. Oh, all right. If I play later, I'll let you know. I don't know. My eye hurts. I think just playing a video game would be a bad idea. I don't know. What would you do, Brian? If you had a viral conjunctivitis, what would you do?
Well, I mean, is the alternative going to be like not watching Netflix, not doing anything, just kind of like sitting there with your eyes closed? Because you're going to be working, right? Or you're going to be doing other stuff that involves eyes and looking at a screen. So
no, it's a good point.
Why not?
It's a good point. Like I could, I don't know what I'd do. I
don't think it's going to keep you from doing things with your eyes otherwise. So you might as well just play a video game.
I'm just worried about how tense I get and if it'll make it worse if I'm like, freaking out and looking at blood buckets. I don't know. Yeah. All right, I'll play. I'm playing. Brian convinced me.
Good.
Brian did it. I'm playing today. That's it. Noon to 2. Come on back.
Tell Kim she can blame me. Blame me, Kim.
Damn straight. Blame her. Him. That's it. Oh, and she's not even here, so I can do whatever I want. I can do what I want.
Right. Do what I want.
I'm going to get some weird food today. It's going to be great. All right. We're done with the show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you'd like to find out all our stuff that matters, go to frogpants.com/TMS. All the ways to find us, link us, social media, all that stuff. And don't forget, your support is what keeps this ship afloat over at patreon.com/TMS. We will now leave. But before we do, a song from Brian Ibbett.
That's right. We got something from Jessica who says, "Hi, guys. Today, March 12th, is the birthday of your #1 fan, Tom Robinson. I wanted to request a special song for his birthday, your choice, but perhaps something you guys like by Robert Palmer. We'll be seeing you in 6 weeks in Vegas, so if Robert Palmer covered Viva Las Vegas, that would be an amazing choice. he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed seeing you last year at the meetup and know it'll be just as awesome this year. Cheers, guys, and happy birthday to one of my best friends, signed Jessica from Kansas. Well, happy birthday, Tom. I had drinks with Tom at BlizzCon this last year. Actually, for the last 2 years, I've met up with Tom, who I believe lives in the area of BlizzCon, and had a great time having drinks with him, and some, of course, at Viva TMS Vegas last year.
Nice.
He likes Robert Palmer. I didn't know that, but heck yeah, we got a Robert Palmer cover for him. In 2003, Robert Palmer, who's now passed away, unfortunately, released an album called Drive. And on there, it covers a bunch of different artists, including J.B. Lenore's great blues classic, Mama, Talk to Your Daughter. A lot of people have covered this song, Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan and folks like that. Mama, Talk to Your Daughter, covered here by Robert Palmer.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of the morning stream. Come on back then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
No Stick Pam.
She's my favorite Pam, the one that doesn't
yes,
stick.
No Stick Pam.
Yeah, she's kind of.
She's not a volume shooter.
No.